Hello Pisces, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. Just used a different deck of his last week. This is a different one. Websites are, here they are at the bottom. These ones are Llewellyn. There's Llewellyn.com, but there's a couple other things there. Feel free to freeze frame and check out whatever you're interested in, of course, if you are so interested. Supportive Oracle cards, one of my favorite decks, spellcasting Oracle cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lizbeth. There are their full names if you want to see the spellings. Here's some websites on the back for them. Feel free to freeze frame and check out whatever you're interested in. I always notice She Who Is Art, but whatever works for you, feel free to have fun if you're interested. Okay, what do we have for Pisces? What is that about? Do you not believe? Do you not believe, Pisces? What do you... Alright, I'm gonna... Whatever it is, I'm a Pisces too, blah, blah, blah. Just in case it sounds a little wonky. Do you not believe? I keep getting like you don't believe. You don't believe something. You want to believe in it, but you don't believe in it. You want to believe in it, you don't believe in it. Okay. You got the Knight of Cups where you are with the well-being. Kind of like, you know, I want to believe that this is for me. And this is something that I've wanted for quite a long time. But it's kind of like I'm playing it safe. This isn't bad to start. I think we just got to be careful where this is headed. You're not really sure if you can believe in it. You got the Moon card and you got the Page of Fire reversed. You're not moving on this. You should be moving on this. You're holding back a little too much. I really think you're holding back too much. I can understand it, and I'm saying this as a Pisces, where you just kind of like, you just get really like, and just kind of like, I don't know about this. I don't think it's really for me. I'd love for it to be for me, but I'm not really feeling like it is. I would love for it to. You can get overly disconnected. Pisces has a natural thing. I'm saying this as a Pisces. We can be very endearing, or we can be completely iced out, cold. Like, we can be flat out cold if we want to be. I'm getting... You need a better balance with whatever this situation is. You're going to... Even if this situation has a chance, you're going to convince it that it's not for you. You're going to convince the other side. If this is a person, you're going to convince them that you're truly not interested. So be careful. Even if there is a chance here, you could negate it out. So be careful not to get too overly protective or not too disconnected. You are very self-sufficient in this situation, which is fine. Just make sure that that's what you want. If you want to stay self-sufficient and you want to stay solitary on this situation, you can do that. Just make sure that you're choosing to do so, that it's not just happening out of fear and you're just shutting down and not giving something a chance. Because I feel like whatever the situation is, be it a person or a group of people, whatever it is, you're shutting down to the point where you're convincing somebody else that you don't want this, which I don't think is correct, because I'm seeing the Ace of Cups at the bottom, and it's kind of like you're getting the signals, you're getting the feelings, but you're shutting down way too much. It makes sense. I feel like on the outside it makes sense why you're doing what you're doing, so I don't feel like people could say, well, that doesn't make sense, Pisces. I feel like it does make analytical sense why you're doing what you're doing. And in not being overly eager makes sense to me too, but like if you shut down to the point where people really don't think you're interested, if that's the truth, cool, then that's cool. But in this reading, I'm getting you are very interested. I'm getting the Ace of Cups. You are very interested, but you're showing that you're not, because you're trying to be safe. You're trying to be careful. You're trying to like not believe in something that you don't believe is for you. But you're going to the point where you're literally starting you're shutting the door. It's kind of like, I see this buffet, I want to be a part of it, but I don't think I'm going to be invited, so I'm just shutting the door and walking away. instead of giving people a chance to invite me in. That's kind of how this feels to me. But it's kind of like, if you're me anyway, and you're a foodie, you're kind of like, oh, I see a lot of good things in there. I see chocolate, I see cakes, I see a lot of things I shouldn't eat. I see, macaroni salad. I see this, that, and the other thing. I see a lot of things I want. I see sweet potatoes. I see a lot of things I want. But I'm not thinking they're going to invite me in, so I'm just going to shut the door and walk away so I'm not tempted. Meanwhile, if you just kind of hang out for a minute and just kind of like see who you know in there, you may be surprised. It's an invite that actually they would like you, because it's not that you don't have something to contribute right now with food, but maybe your personality and your company is what they really want, and you'd be surprised what you actually have to offer in this situation. If we're going to use the same analogy, it's kind of like I'm just kind of showing up and I didn't realize that they were going to do this, and I don't have a dish to pass, so I feel like I shouldn't really participate. But they're like, no, Pisces, you do. You do have something to give. Your personality, how you make me feel, how you talk to me, how you engage with us. We want you here. You don't have to have something to pass every time. It's not like you purposely didn't bring something you didn't know. Come on in, enjoy with us. We like your company. We want you here. You are very welcomed in this situation too, I'm getting. But there is a weird feeling, like, can we get like more reason? Because I don't think there's a reason. I don't think it's just like random that you don't feel like you should. There's a reason for that. So could we get like more clarity on the reason you're feeling like maybe you aren't welcome? Somebody else is not moving forward very well, and somebody else isn't showing their feelings very well either. So if you're both blocking, like if you're both putting up your shields, like if I think of a shield like a knight has that shield, like a metal shield, you can't see through most of them. I don't know, like we're just like a middle ages, there we go, shield, like that metal shield. If you have it in front of you, you can't see around yours. If they have theirs in front of them, they can't see around theirs. You can't really see each other, so you don't realize that anybody's interested. They have their own hang-ups. One of you has to be a little bit more open. This is your reading. I'm reading for you. We could say the other person needs to be too, but they're not the ones watching the reading, just to be fair. So should they be more open? Yeah. Should they give things a chance? Yeah. Are they gonna? I have no idea. I'm not the one. You're the one watching the reading. You know what I'm saying? You're the one engaging in this. So if you're waiting for them to do it, this isn't going to probably work. One of you needs to do it. Be it a group thing or a person thing. One of you has to like bring down the wall a little bit, at least a little bit. And I feel like if you start putting it out there a little bit more, you don't have to be overly eager again. But if you kind of put it out there that I'd like to get to know you. You might see that they want to get to know you too. They also have their same hangups. It makes sense why you're reacting the way you're doing. But it's kind of like, even though it makes sense, is this something you really want to pass by? Because somebody has to bring down the wall a little bit. And you're the one, again, watching the reading. That's the only reason I'd say it would be on you, is because you're the one that's open to the possibility. They might be too closed to really feel that. And instead of this passing by, instead of something you want passing by, somebody has to bring it down. You're the one paying attention right now. I think you're going to be surprised if this comes forward. If you bring down the wall a little bit, you got the Six of Wands half in, half out, and you got the Judgment in your favor. I don't want to act like it's just like, one nice gesture and everything's, squeaky, happy, skippy dippy, whatever you want to call it. You're dealing with the King of Pentacles here, which is, there's a lot to offer here, a lot to offer. But this person is usually very conservative and slow to open up. Judgment in your favor is like, once they decide they like you, they slow but surely keep opening the door. They show you more, they tell you more, they're more open to you. Six of Wands half in, half out is telling me there is success here, but it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen in 5 minutes. I really don't think that's a problem. I'm saying this as a Pisces. I feel like we are patient, but not because we want to be, just because we feel like we have to be. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I feel like maybe other Pisces understand what I'm saying. Like, we don't want to be patient, but we feel like we kind of have to be, so we are by default. So once this starts, you get the ball rolling, this other person will keep it rolling. Match their intensity. I feel like you just got to match. I also feel like you like this person, whoever it is. Doesn't have to be romance, clearly. But I feel like when they give you some, you give them some back. I feel like it's more like every now and then you're going to give a little extra. I feel like that's just your natural energy. You're just going to end up giving a little extra without realizing it. And they're just going to, then they're going to try to match your energy. I feel like it's literally, when the ball starts rolling and you start to get to know this person, they open the door a little bit, and then I feel like you give a little extra without even realizing it. And then they try to match that, and then you try, it's like you're trying to match what they just matched, but you keep moving ahead, and you keep giving more, and they keep trying to catch up. And I don't think you're going to see it that way, but I feel like that's how it's going to play out. I feel like at some point they're going to tell you, like, I just kept trying to catch up, and you're like, what are you talking about? I was just trying to keep up with you, because you're just naturally very giving. A lot happens here unexpectedly. I'm also getting, which is good. I'm not seeing any real bad cards, by the way. Just double checking. Just double checking. Five of Pentacles halfway in, halfway out, and the High Priestess halfway in, halfway out. This person's life, or whatever this is, this situation, is not perfect. What is in life? But they might be self-conscious about that. You're going to find out stuff that they're not expecting you to find out. For example, you might be visiting this person as you get to know them, and you find out, just because you happen to be at the right place at the right time, you find out some dirt on this person. And they'll admit it to you, and they'll be like, yeah, I have some messy things in my past. They're not perfect. I don't, but who is? But Pisces is very good at calming people down and making them feel more comfortable. You'll find a way to talk to them and make them feel safe with that. Their life is not a perfect life. I don't think they're trying to pretend like it is, but like I feel like they feel embarrassed when you find out things about their past. Like, yeah, I've made some mistakes. I feel like you're very realistic, kind of like, yeah, don't we all? Once you get far enough down, I feel like this person is going to really open up to you. That's where the possibilities really show up. At some point, I think they're going to take the lead. You're just not expecting it. Then it's all about, do you want it or not? Because you got commitment coming in here. You got the strength with the Magician. They're going to hit this one. They're just all of a sudden going to hit this point. Who knows how far down the line. And they're just going to take the lead. Usually Pisces is okay with that. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say, just the basic Pisces energy. But you might be shocked when it actually happens. Just heads up when that does happen. That's going to be kind of like your moment to like, do I want to keep it or do I not? I feel like that's going to be that moment where it's going to kind of shock you. It either links up and you're like, yes, I'll take it, or it doesn't link up and you'll be like, no, and I'm going to move on. I'm not really worried about it because I feel like when this person all of a sudden just takes the lead, it either feels really comfortable or really uncomfortable. If it's uncomfortable, I just feel like you're going to recoil and then it's all going to kind of shut down really fast. Just be aware of it. I feel like it's better if you know that that moment will come at some point where they just all of a sudden kick into gear and all of a sudden they start taking the lead. It's all about if you like it or not. Again, if you don't like it, I keep feeling like you're going to recoil and it'll probably bring it to an abrupt stop. But if you don't like it, why would you want it anyway? So, I don't know. So I think it's something about the way they start taking the lead. If you decide that's not for you, it'll happen. Things will end real fast. I feel like for a lot of you, though, when I get that commitment card coming in, I don't think it'll be a bad thing. I feel like this is just a heads up. If it is something you don't want, it'll end fast because you're going to know that the commitment is right there for this situation. You're either going to go forward and like, yes, I want it, or no, and you're going to shut it down fast. So I'm not super worried about it. I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to say like this is going nowhere because I do feel like this is going somewhere. After all, you do have the Ace of Cups here. But it's just like a safeguard. Like, it's going to shock you when they move forward. It's just, does it shock you in a good way or shock you in a not so good way? And if you don't like it, I'm getting it'll shut down fast. If you do like it, it will take off and go farther. I don't know, does that make sense? I'm not trying to say like it's going to be bad, but I feel like it's not guaranteed it's going to be good. That's all I'm saying. Just trying to be realistic about it. All right, are we good? I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.